Hello people, Suffolk Sport Glide Rider here. Please remember, in all my videos I'm not a professional filmmaker or videographer, I'm purely an amateur. And please remember, I'm not a professional mechanic either. Just an amateur trying to show that some jobs can be done at home, saving a bit of time and money, and the satisfaction that you can do the jobs yourself. Thanks for watching. So I've now got a sheet of aluminium, 3mm thick, so it's a very solid piece of aluminium. As you can see, I've started polishing it already, and this will be the rough side, so this will be the back side, but it's still nice to get a good shine on it. And then the foreside, which is covered in plastic, so there should be no scratches or marks underneath that. So once I finish polishing the back side, I'll polish this, then get it cut, shaped and everything else. Still haven't totally decided what design to put on it. Okay, so it is very difficult to actually show you how good the shine is. I'm taking a couple of photographs here, and because you keep getting the flash from the camera, so I'll put my finger over the flash. Hopefully you can see that I've got a good mirror finish onto this piece of aluminium, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so as I said before, you take your sheet of aluminium, polish it to a highly mirrored finish. This is the underside, so not quite as polished, just as well. Then what I did, where I've got the highly polished bit, then place the air filter in the centre to make sure you've got the best polished bit all the way around, missing out the edges. Carefully mark the centre of it, then drill a hole in the centre that will fit the centre bolt through. And with the centre bolt there, put it through, carefully mark the outside of the filter, i.e. the round edge where it's the cover's got to go over. Then from that, decide what sort of design you're going to do. I've ended up with a 12 hole sort of design on mine. It's obviously not finished yet, still needs to be cut out. You can see the other side is more of a mirror finish. And yeah, once I've cut the round edge, I've got to get a new angle grinder to cut away at that, because this is 3mm thick, and that is absolutely rock solid. So yeah, I've got a cutting blade but not a grinding blade, so I've got to pop out and get a grinding blade to grind that nice and round, and that is then going to fit perfectly over the air filter there. As I say, the design you're going to do anything that takes your fancy, really, absolutely anything. So many different designs you could do. I had sort of engraving it, things like that, but I'm not an expert artist, I'm not that good. But this sort of design, I mean, you can almost cover this side of the air filter up. One of the Harley ones does, it just leaves a tiny little bit. But yeah, it's there, you got the filter there, so it's not just for show, you know, it does help it breathe as well. But that'll be the way it is shortly once I've rounded it off. So I've got to pop out now, get the angle grinder so I can grind the outside edge off. But it's looking pretty good, and it does polish up nicely. One thing I didn't mention was that after marking the pattern, the size of the filter, and deciding what pattern I wanted, I didn't then cut this out of the main sheet. I left it as a complete sheet until I'd actually drilled the holes for the pattern and got all that sorted out, because obviously it's far easier to work with a complete sheet. You then got somewhere to clamp this to your workbench, workmate, whatever you're using to hold it while you do all the drilling. So yeah, leave it as one complete sheet till it's all done. Then I've cut the bit out that I need, and now we're just going to get the angle grinder and grind it to the proper circle. Okay, so angle grinder all set up, ready to start cutting down to my proper size circle. But obviously I'll edit this because you don't need to see all of that. Don't forget gloves, glasses, all the safety gear to make sure nothing goes wrong. So about 20 minutes after I started cutting that to shape, started raining, and I moved the stuff indoors waiting for it to stop. So after 2 days of rain, here we are, still raining. So I've given up and I've come out in the garage. So moved the car outside into the wet, and I'll continue and get that sorted and in the dry. Can't use electric power tools out in the pouring rain. Bit of a shame, but there we go. So all the sharp edges are taken off, or all the big edges, because it was square. So now it's just a matter of careful grinding down to the finished circle that we need. So here we are, almost rounded off. Just a tiny little bit to finish off around the edge now, where you can see the black line. Almost down to the exact size we want. Nearly there. Okay, back in the house. Lovely circle. And just used a bit of wet and dry around the edge where I've ground the edge down. Bit of wet and dry to smooth that off, so it's perfectly safe to touch, no sharp edges or anything. That was only done with 60 grade wet and dry. I didn't have any finer grade, but 60 is pretty good, and I'll see if it will polish up a little bit on the edge. But that will do. Didn't want any sharp edges to catch the fingers on, or the clothes. So here we are, people, at the end of the day. My personalised cover for the Screaming Eagle Extreme Flow air filter on my Sport Glide. Made of aluminium, 3mm thick. In all honesty, you could get away with 1.5mm thick, just that I happen to have a sheet of 3mm lying around in the garage. Yeah, taking a bit of time, but you probably can't see the mirror finish on it really. But yes, aluminium does polish up nicely. Personal design on that. Not to everyone's taste. Then again, it might be to some people's taste. But I think it enhances the look a little bit. You know, Harley do sell a couple of different covers to go on the Extreme Flow air filter, but they are quite expensive. This way I've got something that's personal to me, and I personally like it. So quite a few hours of work involved, but at the end of the day I like it. Just remember, when you do fit it back on, don't forget a little bit of Loctite onto the bolt and torque down to the proper specifications. Now a call out to UK Sport Glide riders. If you have a Sport Glide and have made modifications and customisation, if you'd like to show your bike to others on YouTube and live within 75 miles of Newmarket Harley, I could come to you and video your bike. Or wherever you live, if you can get to Newmarket Harley, I can meet you there to video your bike and share your look with the wider world. Please email me at the address on the bottom of this screen. I know there's a few Sport Glides out there, but I've only actually seen a couple on the road. Thanks for watching, folks. Ride safe. Catch you soon.